Alright guys, welcome aboard. Everyone can hear me okay in the headsets? Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. So my name's Dan, I'm your pilot today. If you guys do want to have a chat to each other or ask any questions along the way, feel free. Just have to make sure your microphones are nice and close to your mouths. And just talk loud enough to hear yourselves in your own headset, that way everyone else can hear you too.
लाइव आया था नेटवर्क का क्या?
Can't hear me? That's a lot faster than the one at Lakes Entrance. Heavier. Like, stronger. Goodbye, cruel world.
So we'll climb out here guys and cross over the coastline. As we do, we'll split the Apostles in two, so we'll have a few on the left and a couple on the right. Coming back down the coast later on, we'll get to see them all again in a line or in a row. First up on the right is Apostle number 2, this cone-shaped one with the pointed top. And number 1 next there with the green grassy top. Number 1 is the largest of all the Apostles, and it is the last one that we'll see until we're coming back. So all the features after this one technically are not part of the Apostles, they'll have their own unique names though. So we have the Twin Sisters on the right there first, the Salt and Pepper Shakers in the middle, and the long skinny one behind with the jagged top is the Razorback.
Pepper shakers.
Next up, Mud and Bird Island here, this large island with the green top. It is the largest island in Port Campbell National Park. Named after the thousands of mud and birds that migrate there from Alaska every year. It's about a 30,000 kilometre round trip for those guys, which is quite impressive. You can have up to 12,000 of the birds nesting on the island there at the one time. Coming up next, the island of Baker's Oven there. Looks a bit like a slice of cheesecake. It's called Baker's Oven because of that hole that runs through the middle, which the sailors back in the day said resembled an oven, kind of like a wood-fired pizza oven I guess, that dome shape. And we have Sentinel Rock just here approaching us on the right. It's the tallest rock stack in the national park here. It's about the same height roughly as a 20-storey building. which is about 60 metres tall.
Oh. What's those black things in the water? It looks like
Just a bit of
sea.
seaweed, kind of seagrass floating around, yeah.
Oh,
The bottom's really kelpy here. There's a lot of,
okay.
yeah.
How high up would we be?
We're at 500 feet, which is about 150 metres above the sea.
Yeah, cool.
And when we turn around at the London Bridge here, we'll climb it up to about 230 metres up. That's the town of Port Campbell up on the cliffs there to the right. Should get a better look at the town on the way back.
Punjab, the different color of water.
And about how fast are we going?
We're flying into the wind at the moment, so probably only about 160 kilometres an hour.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll be up over 200 on the way back. Doesn't feel like it being up so high, does it?
Wow.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It feels like you're crawling.
Yeah. There's a feature straight ahead of us there called the Arch. You can kind of see it jutting out from the cliffs straight ahead.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit deceiving as to its size again, but actually big enough to fit our little silver helicopter through there. There's a few boulders you might be able to spot at the base of the arch as we fly past. Each one of those are about the size of a car. And we're going to come around this point ahead of us here and see the London Bridge shortly. Which, as you guys may know, it's just one island now with one archway to it. There used to be a second archway connecting across over to the mainland until 1990 when it collapsed. As we come around, we've got the London Bridge just coming into view on the right here. This island off the point kind of looks like an upside down love heart in shape from this side. You'll be able to see the channel between the island and the mainland that the other arch used to join up and over. So up until 1990 you could walk all the way out to the end there, and two people had walked out to the end when the other arch collapsed behind them. So they were stranded on the island there for virtually the whole day until the helicopter from Melbourne came to pick them up.
Oh,
Pretty stressful day for those guys.
I reckon.
We'll shoot around here, climb it up a little bit higher and make our way back down the coast. There's a better view of Port Campbell from this side. It was originally established as a whaling town back in the 1800s, where the whaling ships used to dock. Same with Port Fairy, a bit further down the coast. We're just at the fringe of whale season at the moment. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll start to see a few migrate up and down the coast here. We get the southern right whales coming up all the way from Antarctica to have their calves along here in the warmer waters. It's about a 3,000 kilometre trip for them. And the humpback whales pass along here as well and head up the east coast up to Queensland. On a good week we might see over a dozen whales. They just swim up and down the coast right underneath where we fly basically, so we get pretty good views. Coming past Sentinel Rock again here on the left, and just ahead of that is Horseshoe Cove, that section of cliff shaped like a horseshoe. There's a cave at the back which is home to one of the few colonies of penguins that we have along the coast here, little fairy penguins. Another large colony of them that live at the beach where the apostles are. They pick those spots to live because it's inaccessible by land, so no foxes or any other predators can get down there to them, which is pretty smart. Coming past the Sherbrooke River on the left there, snaking its way out. And Mud and Bird Island next. From this angle it kind of looks like a big green question mark or seahorse. And behind it where the car park is back there, it's the Lockhart Gorge, named after the ship the Lockhart, which ran aground into Mud and Bird Island back in 1878. There were only 2 survivors of that shipwreck that washed up through the gap in the cliffs onto the beach there. Now we're back at the Apostles here guys, all in front of us from number 1, the large one there with the green top. Kind of way back to number 7, which is the tall one just on this side of the lookout. Those 2 features down the very end on the opposite side, those guys are actually not part of the Apostles, not counted. They were left out originally. Didn't make the cut, so it's just 1 to 7 here. We had another one until 2005 when it collapsed. The remains of that one are still visible in the water there, that cluster of rocks between 6, the tiny one, and number 7. We'll turn left in a second here, and as we make our way into land, should get a nice view of all the Apostles lined up out the left-hand side. Alrighty, thanks very much guys, hope you enjoyed that one. You can pop your headsets up on the hooks up the top. Thank you, and undo your seatbelts just by twisting the buckles.